ambapo kongamano la elimu limekuwa likiendelea tangia asubuhi kuhusiana na mtaala wa umilisi CBE. Hebu sasa tufululize tupate kusikia nyepi yanajiri.
And this is also another opportunity to be able to refine the guidelines that are going to guide the transition to senior school. I'm also happy to note that in the morning, a policy decision has been made about mathematics. That from now, mathematics will be compulsory for all students in senior school. And that it depends now on what kind of mathematics, whether it is general maths, whether it is basic maths. We have every learner going to senior school doing mathematics. And the Cabinet Secretary made that very clear this morning. And we are really very happy and rallying behind the CS to ensure that we implement that directive that mathematics now is compulsory. It is no longer optional for all learners going to senior school. And the reason why we are doing that is because we have listened to stakeholders. We have been listening for the last 2 months. We have heard what they have said, and we have said we have to be able to implement. And as I have said, curricula is very dynamic. And even as we have this national conversation, which is coming at this time, let us reflect back and remember that since 1963, we have had quite a number of reforms, starting with 1964 Omenda report, which was actually eliminating the white schools, remember in 1964. Then we came to Marquet report of 1984, which created 844 system. And then Otiambo report of 2012, which was supposed to align the new constitution to the system of education. And today, we are here in this conversation so that we can be able to refine the recommendations of various task forces, including the 2023 Presidential Task Force on Education Reform. And we have continued to make the system better and better and better. At this point in time, we are not saying there's anything really wrong, but we are saying we can make it better. In that case, we say a good idea should be able to give way to a better idea, and a better idea give way to the best idea. So that is why we are here to engage with all stakeholders, and we are really very happy with the conversation. The conversation is running very smoothly, and we look forward to ensuring that we are able to implement the recommendations and way forward. So in the next 1 hour, we shall be looking forward to reading the recommendations and making a way forward out of this national conversation on CBE. But as we speak, we have a new kid in the block. It is no longer CBC, it is CBE. Competency-based education, Elimu thabiti.
How would you expect parents and learners to prepare themselves for this new kid on the block? We know that when CBC came, there were so many issues, so many concerns. People were even saying, this CBC animal, we don't understand it. How do we expect the ministry to? How do you expect the parents and learners to prepare for this so that we all make it possible?
At this point in time, I want to say that it is now more clearer that CBE is the best education system this country would ever have. Because if you look at what the country has done for the last 60 years, we have all been refining. So we expect the parents, the teachers, the learners to be really enthusiastic and be very happy about the reforms. Because we are giving, by the way, in this conversation, we have all representatives. We have representatives of the parents, private sector, the church, religious institutions, and we expect everybody to contribute. And as government, we are here to listen, and we have listened. One of the outcomes you can see very clearly is a policy decision that from now onwards, mathematics will be compulsory for all learners. So we expect learners and all the stakeholders and even parents to be very happy that the government is listening to their concerns, because this is a listening forum, this is a forum to engage and be able to reflect also on where we have come from. And most of the panelists here, most of the listeners here are appreciating the fact that this was timely. And I want to echo the words of the chairman of the Education Committee of National Assembly. He said this is a forum they have been waiting for a long time. And this is the opportunity for all of us to ensure that we engage. And for your information, this is not the last forum. This is one among many forums that will come so that we can all sit together and be able to engage about pertinent issues about education, because we believe curriculum, education matters are largely dynamic, depending on the national needs of the country.
Kenyans would like to understand about the major difference between CBC and CBE.
I have said that CBC is about a curriculum alone. CBE is wider than CBC because we are now talking about not only the curriculum, we're also talking about the infrastructure, we are talking about the teachers, we are talking about the schools, we are talking about capitation, we are talking about assessment, we are talking about many other components of the education system. So when we say CBC, we're only talking about a curriculum, which was introduced in 2017. But when we talk about CBE, we are talking about all components of the education, including the curriculum, including the teachers, including the assessment, including infrastructure, and all the components that form the education system. And again, we're also going beyond just senior school. We're also thinking about tertiary institutions, universities, who all form the components of our education system. So we have moved from the curriculum to an education system. So CBC is about the curriculum. CBE is about an education system for the country.
Maybe when grade 9 learners expected to start the selection process to join?
Grade 9 learners now are the ones who are going to go to senior school. And we're expecting that as from 26th of May, the NAMIS portal, because most of the work in the selection process will be digital. We are expecting the learners to start applying for their choices as from 26th of May this year. And the process begins from there. And it's going to be a very consultative process, including the teachers, including the directors of education, it includes everybody. And we are saying that the transition will be very smooth, and we have made all the arrangements to ensure that the guidelines are very clear for everybody.
There's the issue of mapping. Maybe have the school be mapped, especially for the students who will be going, maybe for those who will be selecting a pathway for sports. Do we have like ready infrastructure to ensure that the students get enough?
I want to say that the schools have been mapped. That's why we are saying the process will be as consultative as possible. And we have identified which schools can be able to offer what pathways already. And that is why we are saying in the next 1 month, selection process will begin. We have already been able to map all the schools around the country, all the 10,000 schools, all the 10,000 senior schools around the country. We have been able to know which school has what facilities, and we know which students can be able to go to which schools. But one thing I want to reiterate is that we are going to use technology to ensure that we are able to give a chance to all learners to select schools from anywhere in the country.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
How are the students who are living in the disability catered for new CBE?
I want to say that we have a very robust department dealing with special education, and the needs of the special learners who have disability, who have special needs, is taken care of even in CBC. And we have materials. KICD, KLB have continued to develop curriculum and materials to be able to support special needs students. It's one of the core mandates of the State Department for Basic Education.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Monapias, with the team. Wish you well.
Thank you very much.
Mtazamaji